Hello, everyone. If you can hear my voice clearly, please type yes in the chat box located there in the top right corner of your screen. If you can hear my voice clearly, please type yes. Okay, great. All right. Looks like everybody's doing fine. My name's Damien. I'm a licensed real estate instructor and broker here with My Real Estate Tutor. And for the next 15 minutes or so, I'm going to show you how to pass the real estate exam without having to study and go back through the real estate books. So during the webinar, feel free to post any questions or comments there in the chat. Do realize that I'll get to most of them at the end. So you will have time for question and answer there. Some of them I may answer, when you send it immediately there. But for the most part, it'll be at the end when I'll answer your question. So, but feel free to post them at any time. So we're going to jump right into it here. How to pass a real estate exam without studying the real estate book. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a quick video that goes over our exam prep database and how it works. Now, once that video finishes, I'm going to come back on the line with you here live as I am right now and have some other important information that you definitely want to stick around for. And then we'll be wrapping it up here not too long after that. So let's jump right into it. Let's check out the database. Give me just a few seconds here. I'm going to queue up this video for you. I'll let you listen to that, and I'll be right back with you after it finishes. Here we go. You're about to discover the simplest yet most powerful way to pass your real estate exam without having to study the real estate books. No need to waste time and gas traveling to a physical location. You can do it right from your home or office. All you need is an internet connection and you're ready to go. On your laptop, desktop, or any mobile device, we've got you covered. Since 2003, My Real Estate Tutor has literally helped thousands of students pass the real estate exam, and we can help you too. So whether you're seeking your initial salesperson's license, your broker's license, or applying through mutual recognition or reciprocity from another state, we have you covered. So what is the key to passing the exam? Simply put, you must study the right multiple choice questions and understand certain key terms that are tested heavily on the exam. Now, I can hear some of you saying right now, but I already have questions, so I'm ready to go pass, right? Well, maybe, but probably not. Because if you're talking about the questions from your real estate book from school or other questions provided during the school course, then definitely not. The school material is designed to provide a basic understanding and foundation for the exam, but not to pass it. That's why approximately 50% of students fail the exam on the first try, even though most of them did very well in the school course. Many students take the exam 2, 3, 4, even 5 times or more, and sadly, some students never pass and never get the opportunity to make money in the real estate industry. But their story does not have to be your story. As long as you can get access to the right types of multiple choice questions, complete with detailed explanations so you can understand the concept. Questions that are similar to what you'll find on the actual exam in terms of difficulty and trickiness. And that's where our online real estate exam prep database, which includes quizzes and practice exams with hundreds of exam style questions, comes in. Let's take a look at how it works. Just to give you an even better idea of how our exam prep database works, I've logged into our demo account here. And I'm just going to take a quick 3-question quiz, a sample real estate quiz here. Now, when you register for the actual database, you'll get everything you need for your state, plus all the national material. You'll have all the items listed by topic area, and plus you'll have several practice exams that you can take as well. You can always retry and retake all quizzes and all exams. So I'm going to hit start here. And again, this is just a 3-question quiz to give you an idea of how it works. So the clause in a deed that specifies the type of estate being transferred is that's the addendum clause. So I'm going to click continue. As you see here, you can skip the question if you like. So I'll click continue and you get your feedback. You'll see the correct answer. In this case, I got the answer correct. But also here's what's very important is the explanation or the feedback. You want to make sure when you're going through our database that you take the time to review the feedback, because that's where you're going to get a lot of your learning and understand the concept even better. So again, you have your options here to go back or skip the question, but I'm going to go next. Now we're to question 2. A real estate office sold 180 homes this year. This was 20% more sales than last year. How many homes did the office sell last year? Okay, the answer here is 150. Again, I click next, and it takes me to the correct answer and the explanation. All right, and again, you have to back and skip question options there. Click next question, and we're now to question number 3 of 3, our last question. If 2 or more persons have an undivided interest in real property, which estate may not be created unless specific wording in the deed provides for the right of survivorship. Now, I'm going to intentionally get this question wrong here by selecting tenancy in common. The actual correct answer is actually joint tenancy, but again, I'm going to intentionally get this wrong and click next. And there you go. It tells me that it's incorrect. It tells me what the correct answer is, but of course, it also shows that I had the wrong answer selected. But again, here's your feedback that is very, very important. So you want to make sure that you in study mode, this is our study mode or practice mode, we call it, where you get the answer and the explanation immediately after answering the question. Now, when it comes to the practice exams, you will not get the answer and explanation immediately after answering the question, because we're going to wait to the end, just like on actual test day, to see what your results are. So you want to really do that in the proper mode and the proper setting. So we're going to click submit my answers here, and quickly you get back your results. So you can see here your name. I'm John Doe today. You can see the score. You got 2 out of 3 correct for 66.67%. Shows your correct answers, your incorrect answers. Your passing grade of 90% is what the quiz was set for, and it took me 2 minutes and 14 seconds to take the quiz. Now my result here, it says fail, and the reason is, again, we need you to score 90% or better on all quizzes and all practice exams. Okay, that's very key. We've been doing this since 2003, and what we found of all those years is when you're getting 90% or better consistently on our material, on our questions, meaning the quizzes and the practice exams themselves, then you know you're ready to go do well on the exam itself. Now you'll notice down here as well, you can review all your questions and the answers. So you want to make sure you do this as well, particularly for those that you got incorrect. All right, so that's basically it. You can always retake, like I said before, retake the quizzes, retake the exams as well. And again, you want to do it until you're getting 90% or better. Now, one last thing I want to mention is, for this demo here, for the sample question that we did here, these are not the toughest questions in our database. These are just a couple that we selected here for demo purposes, for sample real estate quiz purposes. You can expect a lot more trickier and difficult questions when you register for the actual database. And that's for your good, because on the exam, it's going to be very tricky. A lot of the questions are going to be very ambiguous. It's going to be tough, but our database will prepare you for what you will face. So just understand that you should expect more difficult and tricky questions once you get into the actual database itself. So we thank you for your time. We know that this database will help you. So go ahead and get started, get registered today while it's fresh in your mind. You'll be glad you did. So there you go. That should have given you a good little rundown of how our exam prep database works. And many students have used that exact database there over the years to pass the exam. Okay. And everybody's at different levels. Some went through their schooling and really had a good school experience. Others, not so much. Sometimes you take it online and you really didn't get what you feel was everything you needed to be ready to take and pass the state exam. So everybody has their different places they are with their preparation. But again, that particular database there has been successful with helping people, whether you're had a good school experience or maybe not so much. But what I want to do now, though, in addition to the database, there's something I want to share with you now. But before I do that, I want to test a little bit of your knowledge with a few quick questions here, just to kind of see where you are. Okay, just to see where you are here. With the database, as we mentioned, you get 24/7 access to that, and just 3 months access to the database, and you can use it on all your devices. And of course, it allows you to retake your exams and your quizzes as much as you want. Again, that's what many students have taken to do very well on the exam. Now, let's test your knowledge here just a little bit. I have a question on the screen here, and I want you to go ahead and participate with me here now, so we can have a little bit of fun here. I want you to read that question and then provide me your answer choice right there in the chat. Okay, real quick, read that question and give me your answer choice: A, B, C, or D. This is not a tough question, really, but just kind of testing the waters here. All right, we got D. Okay, got a D there. We got a D. All right, another D. D is very popular, looks like here. Another D. Okay. All right, and I do thank you for your participation. Those of you who are chiming in with your answers, let me get another few seconds here. Anybody else? Give me another choice. All I have right now is D. Okay. And another D. Okay. All right. I get the idea. And D is incorrect. Okay. And here is the reason why the state exam is so tough, because they're always throwing in trickery. Okay. Now read this question again here. A non-resident applicant. So we've got a non-resident, right, applicant who wishes to become a licensed real estate sales associate in Florida must. Okay. Now, so we got a non-resident of Florida, and they simply want to become a sales associate. Pretty simple. But the key part of this question really is must. Must they live in a state with whom Florida has a mutual recognition agreement? No. No. It just means that if they're in a state where Florida does not have that agreement, they have to go through the normal channels to get their license, which is take your pre-license course, okay, and then pass the state exam to get the license. Must they show proof of experience in their state of residence? No. Again, go through the normal channels. See, A and B are requirements of mutual recognition. Showing proof of experience, yeah, that makes sense if you're in a state like Georgia, okay, who is a mutual recognition state. Then yes, you got to show proof of real estate experience because you are applying through mutual recognition. And so A and B, yes, if you're applying through mutual recognition, then yes, that's a must. The only thing that's a must here when you're applying as a non-resident to be a licensed real estate sales associate is C. You have to be at least 18 years old. But see, what happened was the way this question was worded with the must and everything else, it got you to thinking essentially that they were applying through mutual recognition, and that was the only way a person that's a non-resident can get their license. And it's not. They just got to go through the normal channels, just like a person who is a resident of Florida would have to do. Does that make sense to everybody? If that makes sense to you, type yes. Okay, great. I just wanted you to see how something seemingly so easy is more tricky than it looks. And this is what they do on the exam all day, every day. And that's why people who fail it over 50% of the time, they say, I thought I did well. But it's because of things like this that you for sure you had the right answer, but indeed it wasn't correct. Okay, let me do one more here real quick. So the answer is C. I don't know what I had in that thing there. The answer is C. Now, I got another question on the screen for your real estate math. Okay, real estate math. Go ahead and take a stab at that question. I'll give you just a few minutes. Again, it's not overly difficult. And of course, we don't have time to get into a real difficult math problem here. during this short webinar, but I just thought I'd throw one in there for you. Okay, I got some answer choices coming in here now. Okay. I'm not going to say what I see right now. I'm going to give a few other people a chance to give it a shot. Oh, man, this is going all over the board here. Right now, I have an A, a C, and a D. Okay. Another few seconds here. Another A. Wow. Okay. Again, guys, things that are seemingly easy can be very tricky. All right. Let's get right to it here. And the answer is D. Only one person got that right. Okay. Only one person got that right. Here's the thing. They always will have that wrong answer based on what they know most people will do. Now, there are some of you who selected C. Okay. And if you selected C, here's what you did. You did the 10% times the 120, right? And you got the 12,000. And that was for 1 year. So what you did, you doubled that for the second year. So you said 24,000. So 24,000 plus the 120 gives you 144. Sounds reasonable, right? Well, but that's not how you do it. You got to take the 120, do the 10%, get the 12,000 and add that now to the value, because that's the new value at the end of year one. And now you start with the 132, the 132,000, and put the 10% on top of that amount. So you get 13,200 in the second year, not just 12,000, you see. All right. And had you chosen B, all right, had you chosen B for 132, that's for a person who just did the 10% in the first year, but forgot all about the second year. So you would get 12,000 plus the 120 for 132,000. That answer is there waiting on you, but it's incorrect. This is what happens on the exam. And these are not even the toughest questions right here. I'll be honest with you guys, but I just want to give you an example of what you're going to be dealing with on the exam. Now, so D is the correct answer here. All right. Now, give me 1 second here. I do have a special webinar bonus for you. I do appreciate the time that you came here to see this webinar and this demo. Now, we have a special bonus. They're training videos. Now, imagine for a moment you could have in front of you and get the experience of what I just did with you. I just walked through 2 questions with you, kind of talking you through it, analyzing it with you, and kind of breaking it down for you so you can understand. Well, we have training videos that do the same thing. And I want to show you those right now. I'm going to give you a couple videos here. Video training where you'll have an instructor, just like I just did, go over multiple choice questions and break them down, talk about the question itself, talk about the answer choices so you can understand the concept. So let me give you a taste of what that is right here, and we'll continue and finish up here. So first, I'm going to give you a law question, and then I'm going to follow that up immediately with a math question and the solution to it, so you can see how these videos work, okay? So I'll be back with you once both of these are completed. All right, here we go. Law question first, followed by math. Now, what I want you to do, though, I want you to put your answer into the chat before the answer is actually given on the video, okay? Go ahead and do that for me. And on the law question, I just want you to type law and then your answer selection, A, B, C, or D. And then when we get to math, I want you to type math and then your A, B, C, or D answer choice, okay? All right, here's the law question now.
An owner offers an open listing on his farm to 3 separate brokerage firms. The brokers decide to cooperate on the sale of the farm and retain a tobacco auctioneer from Georgia. The auctioneer is paid $500 plus expenses to conduct the auction. However, the owner rejects all offers at the auction. Which of the following statements is true? A. The brokers can have their licenses suspended for paying an unlicensed person for performing a real estate service. B. As long as the auctioneer is licensed in Georgia, this is permissible because of the mutual recognition agreement Florida has with the state of Georgia. C. There has been no violation of license law because the brokers hold valid real estate licenses. Or D. Auctioneers are exempt from the real estate licensing requirement. Even if you're not sure of what the answer is, knowing how to figure out what the answer isn't can be just as valuable. A good idea would be to pick out the key terms of each question. For this question, I've selected retain, auctioneer, and paid. Armed with this information, we can see that B is incorrect because mutual recognition does not entitle the out-of-state licensee to automatic licensing in Florida. C can be ruled out too. Actually, the fact that the brokers all hold valid real estate licenses binds them to uphold the laws and rules governing real estate transactions in Florida. D is not correct either. Auctioneers are not exempt from the Florida real estate licensing requirement. For this question, it might be a good idea to recall the acronym regarding the 8 services of real estate. A bar sale. Now that we've ruled out what is not the case, we can see that A is the correct answer. The brokers can have their licenses suspended for compensating the auctioneer because he's an unlicensed person and performing one of the 8 services of real estate. A is the best choice.
D and some other choices? Well, the answer is A, right? You cannot pay an unlicensed person, okay, to perform a service of real estate. Okay, a bar sale, right? All the services of real estate. This guy's a tobacco auctioneer in Georgia. That means nothing. He needs to have a real estate license. Okay, he needs to have a real estate license in Florida. Okay, so the answer there is A. Now let me go ahead and do the math for you. Okay, let me do the math for you here.
The sale price of a home is $66,000. A savings association has agreed to lend 80% of the sale price. The prospective buyer has made a binder deposit of $2,200. How much more cash must the buyer produce at closing? A. $10,760. B. $11,000. C. $13,200. Or D. $14,960. The key amounts of the sale price, loan percentage, and deposit amount are the important items for this question. Answer B, $11,000, is the right choice. And this question is a simple matter of multiplication and subtraction. First, multiply the sale price by the percent of sale price being loaned to get the loan amount. This case is $66,000 times 80% for a loan amount of $52,800. Then subtract the loan amount from the sale price to get the amount of the purchase which is not being financed with a mortgage. $66,000 minus $52,800 leaves $13,200 gross buyer funds due at closing. But we left an item out. Now we need to subtract the binder deposit from the amount of purchase not financed to get the net buyer cash due at closing. In this case, $13,200 minus $2,200 equals $11,000, or the cash due at closing. Answer B, $11,000, is the correct answer.
With those videos, so very powerful. With those videos, you can play them back, pause, and rewind them as much as you like. Now, a few final points, and we'll go ahead and wrap it up here for today. Your school prepares you to get a certificate. I'm sure most of you on the webinar here today, you already have your certificate, or perhaps you're in the process of getting it right now. And that's important because you need it, of course, in order to be able to sit for the exam. But our whole goal here is to get you past that test. That's what we do, and that's what we specialize in. Now, as I can tell you this, the actual exam questions are not like the ones in your school book. They're a lot more trickier and confusing and ambiguous. And it seems like there's more than one correct answer choice on many of them. That's just how they do it. Why do they do it that way? Who knows? But that's the difference between what you had in school and what they do on the actual exam itself. A lot of times what we find is students do pretty well in school, scoring in the 90s or better on the end of course exam. But then they take that same knowledge and same understanding, thinking they're ready for the exam itself, the state exam, and you start seeing scores in the 50s and 60s. It's just a much more tricky and difficult test. Now, over 50% of the candidates fail the exam on the first try, and actually over 66% fail when they try to retake the exam. And, when you fail the exam 2, 3, 4, 5 times or more, which is not uncommon, it can get a little frustrating. And a lot of times people just give up and actually never get the license. But you can pass that test. Okay. The key is you have to focus only on what's going to be on the exam and not try to worry about everything that's in that real estate book. Okay. There's just way too much information in that book. And more importantly, they're not going to test you on all the information. Okay. They're going to do what they always do. And that's just pick and choose certain information to focus the exam on. So if you're trying to read that book from cover to cover, chapter by chapter, sort of highlighting everything line by line, you're going to be reading a lot of information that's not even going to be on the exam. Okay. While at the same time, overlooking that key information that you really should be focusing on heavily. So needless to say, with us, you definitely do not need a book to prepare for the exam. Our database includes everything you need to do well and pass the test. Now, it generally speaking, it takes a person about 15 to 20 hours of prep time to be ready with our database. Now, your time may vary a little bit here or there, depending on your unique situation. But generally speaking, we're talking about 15 to 20 hours of prep time, and you'll be ready to go. We do have an 85% success rate. Not perfect. Okay, be the first to admit that. Not perfect, but, we're pretty happy with that. Nothing's perfect. And of course, we can't go in there and take the exam for you or do anything like that. But that's definitely not necessary. If you just do your part, which is to take those practice exams and quizzes until you get 90% or better, okay, and you keep doing that, then you're going to do well on the exam, okay? Now, if you like the database and you want to get started today without having, again, to go back and read that real estate book, you can do that. The regular price of the database is $149. And again, we've literally helped thousands of students since 2003 pass the exam. But I do truly appreciate you taking the time here to see this demo today. So you will not have to pay the regular price if you want to get registered. If you do want to get registered now through me while I'm here, you can get the entire database at a discounted price of only $125. And again, that's all your practice quizzes, practice exams, and you can retake it as much as you like. What I also do is not much, but you can get the discounted price as well for coming to this webinar of only $125. And I'll actually throw in the videos as well. The videos, there's over 150 of those videos to reinforce the key concepts and that add to your learning. I'm talking about those videos that I just showed you here earlier. So if you want to get registered through me now, you can do so at the discounted price of only $125. You'll get 24 hours a day, 7 days a week access to all their database, 3 months unlimited access. You can access it on your laptop, desktop, iPad, iPhone, Android phone, or any mobile device that you have. Of course, you can retake all practice quizzes and exams in the database. And again, you'll get, as a bonus at no additional cost, the 150 videos to reinforce key concepts. That'll just add to your learning, okay? That's just extra to add to your learning. If you want to do that through me while I'm here, let me know through the chat that you want to do that, and I'll get you what you need so you can register now while I'm here at the discounted price and get the videos as well thrown in, okay? I see some of you wanting to register now, so just hold tight. I'll get you what you need. I'll send you what you need right through chat here so you can register now. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask those now as well. Now, if you don't want to register now at the discount price, that's absolutely not a problem. You can always call us back or email us back. And at that point, any representative can help you. Now, the only difference would be, of course, is that you'll just register at the regular price, okay, of $149, and you wouldn't get the, additional videos, okay? So, but if you do want to get the videos and register at the discounted price of $125, then you can do that through me now while I'm here, okay? Give me 1 second. I'm going to give those of you who are wanting to register now what you need to get going. Reason you don't see it there, let me know, but you should be all set. Now, if you don't have any questions or you're not registering at the discounted price, by all means, I don't want to hold you any longer than you have to be held here today. You could feel free to exit the meeting at any time. Okay. I do wish you the very best of luck on your exam and your studying. Okay. I do see some others of you who are requesting now. Give me 1 second. Now, let me know if you need your salesperson or brokers. Okay. We have a unique database for sales associates and also for brokers. We want to make sure you get into the right one. Okay. All right. So I'll stand by here just a little bit longer to answer any questions that you might have. And also, if you're still wanting to register, let me know. All right, everyone. Thank you for attending, and I wish you the very best of luck on your exam. Have a great day.